All right. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. What we got going on today? Another wild day. Another wild day. It's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen today. First, let's see this. See what this 5-minute chart does. We're dropping hard. Panicking going on. We got what? 33. Is there any news today? What's the news looking like? Obviously today's a bank holiday. Not any news to worry about, so alright. Let's kind of mark out. We're already, yeah. So the high is pretty much already set in place. We'll wait for that low to form and kind of see what's gonna happen. We're dropping like a freaking rock. Dropping hard. Be careful. All right, there's that low. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here. Are we going to chop, or are we going to actually get a massive move to one direction? Alright, so let's go to... Actually, let me go to different... Let me go to, say, the 60-minute time frame. See what's going on there. Alright, we got a massive gap, obviously, to the downside. Massive bullish gap. Alright. Yeah, we're still dropping. And then we got this bearish gap right there, pretty much at view op, so... Let's see. We'll see. We're dropping. We're still got room for pre-market lows, but we are dropping. Today's a holiday. Why trade? I think we're gonna have some good price action today, personally. I mean, the market's open. The bond market's the only market that's closed today. So, banks aren't working, but the hedge funds are all working, so... We'll see. I mean, I'm open. I'm you know, if I don't get a trade, I don't get a trade. I'm fine with that, but if I get something, I'll take it. The algos are printing. The algos are running. I'm too scared to trade today after Friday. I am. I'm hesitant. I'm not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm pretty scared too. I feel like I just don't know. I don't know. It's like it's weird because Friday we had negative news, but also over the weekend Trump came out with some decently positive news. That's why you see that market ripped up a little bit when he went, "Don't worry about China. He just had a bad day," type of thing. So. Caused the market to rally a little bit. So interesting to see here what's going to happen. Now, we took out those lows. We took out some 15-minute lows. Market's trying to push up. So if you see on the 15-minute chart, these lows right here to the left, those lows, we took out those lows. Now market's trying to move back up. So interesting to see what happens from here on out after those lows got taken out. Do we have buyers start to step in and push this back into that range? Again, if we push back into that range, leave behind a bullish imbalance, would be interesting to see. But if we keep rejecting and keep dropping, then don't get a trade GC going up from like all night. If I get a setup, you know, I'll probably take it, but we'll see. When it opened Sunday, it jumped. Yeah, it jumped, I think, because of Trump. Because of the Trump, what Trump tweeted, what Trump said, to not worry about China. He just had a bad day. Type of that one. So it's trying to, we'll see. Push back into that range, but still getting pretty hard rejections off it. If I do get a setup, whoa, man. If I do get a setup, I'll probably not go in, you know, full size. Probably test the waters out a little bit just in case, you know. But we are getting some momentum coming in here. But I think, I mean, there's still a lot of fear, right? Still a lot of fear. And you can kind of see that, you can kind of see how every time we get a little push up, we get a massive, you know, dump back down. So but they are trying to, you know, it's not, the good thing is it's not dropping like a rock, you know. It's not just opened up and just sold off and just kept dumping. So we got some mixed. Yeah, I mean, we're getting some. We're getting some, you know. Now, if price kind of, this low now is kind of a do or die type of situation. If this low gets broken and we end up dropping through that low hard, I mean, we're gonna go a lot lower in my opinion. Now, we could take out that low and start ripping back up, but I'm saying if we take out that low and start dropping really hard, I think that's gonna spook everybody and we're just gonna keep dropping. That's kind of like a line in the sand, that low right there. What's going to happen at that low? All the algos are going to flip short. Pretty hard sell off right there. Now the good thing is, if this does end up ripping, we got this high too. Kind of the line in the sand that if we do rip past that high, well, now that high can be held as support, right? So if we do get a rip past it, bullish imbalance, that ends up being a pretty decent trade setup. But if that happens, we'll see. Like, just like any normal Monday, no news Monday, we could get chopped sideways. You never know. I'm expecting something that could happen. So like super indecisive. Massive sell-off, massive rip to the upside. But we still are, right? We're below view op, so keep that in mind. We're below VWAP. We do have some resistance up there to get through VWAP, which is going to be a little more setting up for a long. Interesting. 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 I'm interested potentially if we get a pullback. If we get a pullback, I may be I'll be interested in this long if I get that pullback. We'll see though. Oh, we haven't closed that candle. I'm looking for that imbalance, but it hasn't technically. Oh no, it has. Never mind. I'm tripping. Let's see. Is this gonna leave without me? Oh, come on. Don't leave without me. Don't leave me. Oh, crap. Alright, I'm in. Stops below the lows. We're getting crazy over here. We're getting crazy. TP at this body candle high of that 5-minute. TP body candle high. We need buyers to start stepping in here. We need buyers. We need the algos to step in. The algos. All right, there it is. We got VWAP to breakthrough. If we can break through VWAP pretty aggressively, we're looking very good. All right, testing VWAP. Testing VWAP. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Let's go. Ready for takeoff. We are ready for takeoff. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Buckle up, everyone. Buckle up. Buckle up, everyone. The algos are going crazy. Oh, God. Let's go. Keep it going. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. Never stop. Alright, bouncing off view up, trying to hold view up. Come on, test view up. Test it. Test it. Alright, there's the buyer stepping in. Oh my god. Dude, so close. So freaking close. Bruh. Come on, are you freaking kidding me? So close. So freaking close. All right, we're looking good so far. We're looking good. They're buying off view up, so that's a good sign. They're pushing it back up. It's just, oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. Come on, a little more. Oh my god. My TPs are like... I feel like I'm a freaking hedge fund putting in a $50 million order and everyone's getting spooked. That's what I feel like. Like, what the heck? Bro. Why does this happen every time in my TP? Alright. Let's go! Cancel all. Flatten everything. Cancel all. We're good. We're good. Wow. Wow. Wow, let's go. Hell yeah. Bro, I knew it. I freaking knew it. Today was going to be a good day. Amazing price action. Let's go. What a perfect way to start your week. Should have held longer. I maybe should have held a runner. We'll see. We'll see. Here, give me a second. I'll be back in a second. But yeah, what the? It looks like I should have held a runner. I don't know. I'm having trouble. That's the one thing I'm having trouble with is the runners. From one side, like last time, on Friday actually, before that massive sell-off on Friday, like I would have got stopped out of my runner. So I would have been down technically. So here's the thing, right? Friday would have got stopped out of my runner, break even. So I would have made, say, $100 less on Friday. Versus today, if I would have did the same thing, I would have held a runner. Looks like my runner is possibly would have gotten hit. So it's like, I lost the runner, break even on Friday. Today, if I left a runner, it would have hit. So technically, it would be the same thing as me just taking full profits. And then, yeah, and then you get that freaking downside of sitting in that runner and sitting in there and just, you know, stressing out. I think it ends up being the same, to be honest. Leaving a runner and taking full profits where I do. And a runner just gives me more anxiety. Because look at this. It's gonna almost would have hit my runner, then it would have pulled back, stopped me out, break even, and then it's like... And then it sucks, because if then in my mind, I'm like, crap, if I would have just taken full profit, I would have been in a better situation. So, I'm leaning more to just take full profit. And just take what I can, not get greedy, take what the market gives me, and let's move on. Now we need another setup. I mean, now we're kind of... Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it depends what happens here at this 5-minute range. This is kind of like, are we going to push heavily back into this 5-minute range? Or are we going to hold this 5-minute range as support and start ripping back to the upside? So is it going to hold this imbalance right here? Or is it going to reject, meaning, you know, push heavily back into this range, leaving behind another bearish gap? So this is kind of like also another do or die type of situation of what's going to happen here could depend on what's going to happen for the rest, for, like, you know, if we're going to keep pushing up or drop back down. We're pretty bullish. We're above UOP, so... My Trade account didn't work. It said my account got disabled due to inactivity. You know how to... What the hell? Due to inactivity? Did you not trade it for a super long time? Or... And my other setup, right? My other strategy is kind of this setup right here. I wouldn't have taken it just because this gap is inside the range. But typically I look for something like this. If this gap was above the 5-minute range, I would look for something like this where we kind of break out. We pull back into this, pull back into the first imbalance, breaking the kind of, you know, the range. But I would want a stronger break, you know, a break way up here and then a pullback as a confirmation. But something like that. Also, I look for my other strategy on my other accounts. Not super long time, just 1 week, or might be 2 weeks. That's it. Yeah, you shouldn't have got 2 weeks is nothing. You should have, yeah, message them. It has to be some kind of a glitch or something. Message them. Or maybe your did your accounts, if you had your accounts and it tried to renew the subscription and it couldn't renew it, that could be a reason also. But other than that, there's no reason they should have kicked you out for 2 weeks of inactivity. Thought you were supposed to trade at least once a week? No, not from what I know. I've never seen any rule like that where you have to trade once a week. But message them first. Don't reset it. Message them and have them, that's what I would do. What is it? With Apex or Take Profit? Or another? Does it really say that on Take Profit? You have to trade at least once a week? I didn't know that. Oh yeah, you can't talk to Tradeovate. You have to talk to Apex. Yeah, I don't know, I've never heard you have to trade once a week. Yeah, we're looking for another run. I mean, we could... You know what would be crazy? If we reclaim if we reclaim pretty much everything we lost, I mean, how much room do we have till we have to go all the way? I mean, it's a lot, no? Let me see. Oh, it's a lot. It's possible, though, which is crazy. Bro. We could literally make back all that losses from that huge dump. Now, I'm not saying personal loss. I'm saying the market. What the market lost reclaims everything back. That's crazy. It's possible, though. We're not super far away. I mean, once we break that high, I doubt it, but it's wild how much we... 10 a.m. candle coming down. I don't know. I mean, hey, it's possible. This high is another kind of do or die situation up here. What's going to happen at this high? Is it going to take out... Now, keep in mind, right? There's a lot of resistance up here. We got that pivot point. We got the 200 right there. So we got a lot of resistance to get through. If price is going to get through there, you know, will it have some form of a rejection probably here? Most likely, yes, right? Most likely we will have some form of rejection here. Now, will it reject and start dumping, or will it kind of sweep it and then, you know, push through it? If it can push aggressively through it and start closing up here, I mean, I would think we're going for those highs, but that's kind of my mindset of... Now, we do have a lot of gaps, right? So there's going to be a lot of... There's a lot of imbalance right there, so... Also, rest in peace to that, that Ukrainian crypto trader. Sad. It's a sad thing. This kind of brings out the dark reality of trading. How you have to be super careful, guys, when you trade. Now, we're trading prop firms, so we don't have to but the people who trade live accounts, I don't know how many of you, maybe there are some people who do trade live accounts, and one thing, if you ever go to a live account, never trade a cross margin account, right? You have, what is the other one? Isolated margin, right? I think it's let me make sure. I always get it mixed up. What is it? Come on, load. What are you doing? Come on. Bro, what the heck is wrong with my... Bro, what the flip? It's not loading. My internet. Bro, what is going on? Nothing's loading. I'm still live, am I? Oh, my internet's just a little funky. All right. Give me a second. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, yeah, so that's it. So where I was going with that, right? When somebody trades a live account, you can either trade a cross margin account, which is very dangerous, or you could trade an isolated margin account. Never go with a cross margin account. Always go with isolated margin accounts, right? And it also protects you in an isolated margin account. You're also protected in case of a flash crash. Like if you're in a trade and something like that happens on Friday where you have a flash crash, the problem with something like that is when the price starts crashing because Trump tweeted something, right? All the algos are going short. Everyone's trying to get out of their position. All the algos are trying to get out. All the retail traders are trying to get out. So when you have everyone trying to get out, nobody's on the other side buying, you get a lot of slippage, right? And the broker is trying to get everyone out. So the people with cross margin account get slipped like crazy, right? I even read stories back in the 2010, I think it was the 2010 flash crash that happened. There were people that got slipped up to 300 points, anywhere from 100 to 300 points of slippage. You imagine getting slipped 300 points? So what I'm going with this is, so the two types of accounts, a cross margin account, the way it works, right, is if you're in a trade, they can use the margin from your whole account. So in essence, when you're in a trade, in an individual trade, your whole account is at risk. There is a possibility you can lose half of your or all of your account. So cross margin, they pull from your whole account balance. Isolated margin, that's why it's called isolated, is because that trade is specifically isolated to that trade. The risk is specifically isolated to the margin in that trade. So the max you can lose pretty much is in that trade. So if something happens, the broker will get you out because you're isolated to the margin of that trade. So that's why it's a lot safer for your account to have isolated margin account. I think from what I understand, even in like a flash crash situation, when you have a stop and it runs right through your stop, there are situations I think where the broker will actually get you out because your trade is isolated to that margin. So I'm not sure like if you can get slipped a little bit, or it's just I'm pretty sure it's strictly the margin in that account and that's it. So it's a lot safer to have an isolated margin if you ever decide to go live. This is just for people who ever decide to go trade live. It's just a big like warning to make sure you have an isolated margin account. So but yeah, it's sad. I mean, the dude lost $30 million. He had a $60 million portfolio and lost $30 million. Now, somebody would say, you know, listen, he still has, you have 30 million. Like, why would you still, it's not a big deal. You have still 30 million in, you know, in your account. The problem is, and this is just speculation, right? He had investors. And in Ukraine, Russia, right? Let's face it, most likely he had people's money, investors' money that you don't want to owe. So he probably figured it's over. Like either I do this the easy way or I'm going to get like, you know. So that's what I'm thinking. He ended up owing people money that you don't want to owe people money. And he felt like it's a sad reality of this puts a warning on trading. Never risk what you would never put at risk what you're not willing to use. Every trade you take, you have to have in your mind that that's already like count it as gone already. So it's sad. It's a sad reality of trading, how people, you know, they will over risk, over leverage, and they disregard the downside and they only look to the upside. Oh, I can make X amount on this trade, but they refuse to look at you can also lose X amount on this trade. And you have to be willing to lose that money. In your mind, you have to be willing to already, all right, if this is a loss, I'm fine with it. I don't care. So it's sad. It's freaking sad. But yeah, it's a dark, it's a thing that happens in trading, and this is just like a warning sign to make sure you're careful when you never risk more than you're willing to lose. Right, and another thing in trading, don't get greedy. Take what the market gives you. Don't get greedy. Don't look at, oh, if I would have held, I would have made X amount more money. If you know, if I woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's not how trading works. If I would have done this, I would have made way more money. Yeah, if I would have bought when I was, you know, if I would have bought a year ago, I would have made it. You can't look at it that way. You can only look at it as your system. All you could do is trade your strategy. That's it. That's why today in the morning I came in. Every single morning I come in level-headed. I don't come in with a bias. I didn't know. I came in this morning. I had no idea if this thing was going to sell off into oblivion again or this thing was going to rip to the upside. Nobody knew. Not even the hedge funds knew, right? And so all you could do is you have your strategy. Everyone has their strategy. If your strategy sets itself up and you get a long position in your strategy or a short position, all you could do is take it and manage risk accordingly. That's exactly what I did today, right? Market opened up. We started to sell off aggressively. Okay, let it sell off. Let it do its thing. All right, we started to sell off, started to form. Here's that bottom of that 5-minute range. Okay, it broke the 5-minute range, right? Now we're kind of like, we're hovering around that 5-minute range. We started to actually form this high right here, right? Rejected really hard, then broke that high. Now broke that high back aggressively and back into that 5-minute range, formed this bullish imbalance. At this point, I'm like, all right, I'm willing to take a long. This is my strategy, right? Ended up getting filled long to the T and ripped to the upside to my take profit. So it's like, it's the confirmation that's important, right? I waited for the confirmation. Market showed me that it wants to continue going up. And I'm not the first one to the party. I'm not the last one to leave, right? I get in the middle and I leave in the middle. And you can see, right? I wasn't the first one to the party. I got in right there. I got in pretty much almost in the middle, and I wasn't the last one to leave either. I took my profit, body candle high for a quick 1-to-1. That's it. But looks like we're still pushing. I think at this point, I think we take out the pre-market highs. Looks like we're about to take out pre-market highs, that 948 level. This right here. I'll mark it out so I could see. I was just curious to see what it does there. Oh, sorry, I missed your question. What about the massive gap open Sunday? You didn't think it'll fill that before? So here's the thing. Here's the thing with news, right? It kind of like, there is a massive gap, right? And you would think, typically you would think, especially ICT traders, right? Gap gets filled, gap gets filled. You would think that gap would get filled, and it still could get filled, right? You don't know when it's going to get filled. It could take out this pre-market high and then drop to fill it. Or it doesn't fill it for a while. And also, you don't know. Also, well, actually, that gap was formed because of the Trump, what Trump said. So, I mean, to me, see, that doesn't matter. See, it didn't matter to me if that gap was going to get filled or not. I saw that gap, but it wouldn't matter. If this thing continued to dump to the downside, well, I would let the gap fill then. But it doesn't necessarily have to fill like right now. It'll fill eventually, but I don't know. I just think you can't have that like bias. Like, I don't know. Me personally, I strictly try to focus on price action. Instead of trying to, oh, we have the stacked highs here, we have this gap here, or we have a gap to the downside, so I'm only taking shorts. Where there's a gap to the downside, I'm only taking shorts. And when you have that kind of bias, I don't know, it's just like you're trying to force the market to do what you want it to do. I want it to fill this gap, so therefore I'm gonna go short. But guess what? The sad reality is the market doesn't give a crap what we want it to do. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. And the only thing you as a trader can do is watch the market and react to what it already wants to do, right? Instead of trying to guess. You done for the day? I mean, probably. I mean, I doubt I'm gonna take another trade. I think I did have a trade setup that I didn't take, but another trade setup that happened down here, kind of. But this gap right here, I didn't take it, but it was for my other accounts. But it looks like, yeah, I think at this point, right, it took out those highs. At this point, like me trying to take a long anytime else, like, I don't know, it's more dangerous now. The more it chops around, the more kind of I feel dangerous trying to take a long. My portfolio just hit 100K, no options. Congratulations, that's awesome. That's a big milestone. Now, continue, don't get greedy. Do not get greedy. Do not risk more than what you're willing to trade. Don't spiral downhill of trying to, you know, continue doing what got you to that position, right? Don't change anything. Never risk more, you know. Every trade you get into, make sure you already accepted the loss so you don't go on tilt. It is what it is. You follow your strategy, and that's all you could do is execute. You know the guy named Alex Trades? I think he mostly does options. He also does futures. Alex, not Alex G, no? Alex Trades? Let me see. Alex, does he have a YouTube? Alex G Trades? Are you talking about Alex G? Oh, TikTok? I'm not sure. I mean, you don't come to mind. I mean, I've probably seen him trade if he trades on TikTok. 48% cash now. Yeah. 48% cash, and then, you know, what's your average risk? Like, what percentage risk do you take per trade? Is it like 2%, 3%? Like, I have a my risk per trade is dynamic. Like, meaning my risk management is dynamic in a sense of I risk aggressively per trade in terms of like, but if I take a certain amount of losers in a row, I size down. So technically, I'm risking percentage-wise less than what I initially risk per trade, like in an average of like 100 trades. Did you take longs today? Yes, I took longs. I took a long. I had a limit buy order right there. This first imbalance right there. Like, my entry was like pretty much the best entry you could have taken today, right there, inside this gap. And then I took profits fast. I mean, I took profits at body candle highs up here. So I took profits up there for a quick 1-to-1. I was willing. I'm taking base hits, you know. Yeah, hindsight 2020, I could have, you know, if I would have held all the way up there, but let's be honest, none of us knew what's going to happen today. I didn't know if, you know, price could just come up here. Last thing I wanted to do is get greedy and then get stopped out. I would have been pissed. So I'm very big on taking base hits. I'm not too big on, like, you know, like looking back, maybe if like today wasn't such a weird Monday where we're coming on a Monday pretty much off of like a crazy news event, Nobody knows what's going to happen today, so there's a lot of fear in the market. But technically speaking, if this was any regular trading day, I probably would have had my TP at the highs up here. But since today was kind of a weird day and I had no idea what's going to happen, I had my TP just at a 1-to-1. But technically, yes, I should have had my TP body candle highs up here. I took a 1-to-1, like I said, because today's a weird day, a lot of fear in the market. I was just taking what I can right now and seeing what plays out, seeing how the market's kind of gonna, you know, be moving. And so far it's moving pretty good, so it kind of sets the tone for the week. As long as Trump doesn't say anything else. What's the likeness of hitting London highs? I think it's pretty likely. I think it's pretty likely we hit London highs. At this point, I mean, we're pretty close. We're not far away. Now we could get a pullback, right? Price can maybe even pull back and kind of take out these lows down here, right? Maybe it comes down, takes out these lows down here, and then starts ripping to the upside. The market makers are calling. Give me a second. Yeah, they said, the market makers are like, we're going down. You better not be in a long. They're looking out for me, you know. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, they called me. They're like, if you're in a trade, get the hell out. I was like, all right. I mean, I already took profits, you know. I already took profits. I wasn't greedy today. I didn't know what was going to happen. All right, because we're sending it lower. See what happened? I'm turning into ICT. The market makers. I got kidnapped. Bro, I went on this what's it called? Kind of a rabbit hole of like how the market like moves, and it's like super interesting when you get into like the minute stuff of how actually the market moves. Like, you know, this whole conspiracy theory of ICT saying that there's one algorithm. It's like, it's all BS, right? There's not just one algorithm. It's a bunch of like the way price moves, right? Every single hedge fund has their own algorithm. Every single hedge fund has their own algorithm programmed, has their own bots. And what you're seeing right now in live time is a bunch of bots fighting against each other. It's literally what's happening. You have Citadel's bots, and you have Goldman Sachs bots, and you have a bunch of other bots. They're all fighting against each other. So that's why you're seeing price fluctuate up and down and up and down. It's constantly fighting against each other. You're literally seeing bots fight in real time. And then right, 90% of the NASDAQ is all bots fighting against each other. Now, we are the other 10% trying to not get, trying to just go with the momentum of the bots. But yeah, it's super interesting to see that and like to know that this is all just bots. Like, very like, I don't know. I find it super interesting. And then I went down the rabbit hole of like dark pool orders, right? There are dark pool orders in the market to where anytime you see, right? Anytime someone has even Bookmap and you see a massive buyer at a certain level, right? That buyer is there because he wants you to see his order. Any hedge fund that doesn't want you to see their order, they route it through a dark pool. It's a legal way. It's not like a black market or anything like illegal. It's a legal thing to do where hedge funds will route their orders through a dark pool. And the way that works is the dark pool pairs you with a buyer. If you're trying to sell, pairs you with a buyer. That exchange has happened off the market, and then it gets updated in time and sales after that exchange already happened. So you pretty much don't see the transaction happen until after it already took place. Then it appears on level 2, and the market like doesn't. That's if like somebody wants to buy $500 million worth of SPX. They're not gonna flash a $500 million order on the books. It's gonna freak the market out. So they do that off the books, and then it gets updated in the books. Why on 1 minute time frame? Genuinely asking, by the way, is it part of your trading model or is it just for stream? No, it's part of my model. I'll quickly explain what I look for. So I start off my day. You'll see every single day I start off my day on the 5-minute chart, right? And I do look at higher time frames, where the gaps are, imbalances, all this, where everything is sitting. So we opened up today, 5-minute chart. These two lines are the first 5 minutes of open, right? That's what I have marked out. Then when that 5 minutes hits, mark out those levels. Then I drop to a 1 minute chart. My strategy is I wait for price to break out either the top or the bottom of the 5 minute range. Now the key is I wait for price to break out, and then the key is I wait for price to push back into the range, leaving behind a bullish imbalance. And that's my sign to go long for a quick, wherever the next target is. That's kind of discretionary. But so, right, price pulled out of the market, pulled outside this range on the 1 minute chart. We pushed back in. Aggressive buyers stepped back in, pushed back inside this range, leaving behind a bullish imbalance. I had my order right there where that line is. And then I took profits, body candle highs of the nearest. So that literally my strategy. So yeah, I'm on the 1 minute because it's my strategy. It's not just, I'm not trying to, Gotcha, man. So you do So you trade the opening range breakout and retracement. Basically, that's explanation. Yeah. So I trade. I don't think I've never seen anyone trade the way I do. Like my strategy, I've never seen anyone use. I kind of made this strat. I saw this strategy myself. Like most people trade the opening range breakout, right? Most traders, I literally do the opposite of what most traders do. Most traders will wait for this breakout and then they want to go short, right? I wait for a breakout and then wait for price to break back into the range for me to take my position. Like, if this breaks out and continues to the downside, I don't take that position. I don't take it. So, I guess, yeah, pretty much opening range breakout, but then break. I don't know how you even would call that. Because I'm looking, that's kind of my confirmation that price potentially wants to go back to another level up there, right? I've seen the strategy, but on a higher time frame, like 30-minute, 1 hour, which is why. Yeah, I've never tested it on a 1 hour. I don't know if it would like. I mean, yeah, I've never tested it on higher time frames. What, you know the crazy part? How I found this strategy? Somebody had an opening range breakout strategy on a 5-minute chart, and I was kind of like, I was sitting here and I was back testing his strategy, and I'm just like, man, okay, this day didn't work out. Like, having trouble back testing, it just didn't make sense to me the way he was like explaining the strategy. And then while I was back testing his strategy, I started to notice what price a lot of times would do is break out and push back into the range. And then I noticed every time it left, not every time, but a lot of times when it would leave this bullish imbalance, it would bounce off that bullish imbalance and then start ripping, continuation, right? And that bullish imbalance is almost like a confirmation that it wants to continue going to that direction. And I started backtesting it, noticed it, started backtesting, and I'm like, oh shit, it actually works out well. Like the month I backtested, it worked really good. And I'm like, holy, like this is awesome. And so I've been trading this strategy and I've been sticking to the strategy and it's been working really well for me. Like, I love this strategy, the fact that it's so systematic. It's A, B, C. You take a trade. There is no like coming in, should I take this trade? Should I not take this trade? It's like, a lot of times it's pretty clear. You take the trade setup is there, you take it. No emotions, no nothing. There are some times where the gap is tiny and then you're like, man, should I take that gap? Should I not? But for the most part, it's like I know exactly where my entry is. I know where my stop loss is. I know where my take profit is. Very simple to follow. I know my rules. I'm not sitting there thinking if I should do this or that. Should I take this entry or that? I've never gave it I never named or anything. I mean, I don't. But so far, yeah, I've never seen anyone trade it. As far as I know, I'm the only person who trades this strategy. And I want to keep it that way, right? I don't want everyone to start trading it and then it stops working. I've actually looked into that. I was like, crap, like, that's the sucky part, right? There's a theory out there that if you have a popular strategy and everyone starts using it, that it stops working. But I looked into that, like, for you to have a profitable strategy and then for everyone to start using it and it stops working, I mean, you would have to have millions of people using your strategy. Like, millions for that to happen. Especially in a market like NASDAQ, where you have institutions and hedge funds and stuff like that, right? It's like you would have to have a massive, massive buying pressure at a certain level for it to maybe stop working in the out, like, you know, so. I don't know, maybe I'll name it, but I just need to make sure no one else uses it, because I don't want to be that person that, like, takes a strategy that other people used and then just renames it. ICT. Isn't that the case with ICT? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what ICT did. He popularized things that were already in the market, like fair value. He called it like fair value gaps, right? Technically, it's an ICT term, but gaps, imbalances have always been in the market, right? It's not a strategy. It's something that happens. It's an imbalance in price. He just named it fair value gaps, and then he popularized it in the retail community. So that's why it's so popular. It's like fair value gap, ICT term. Like, fair value gaps have always been around before ICT even traded them, before ICT named them. People have just been imbalances. Oh, there's an imbalance in price right there. No one called it a fair value gap. So he just gave a name for it. Bro, that dude is something else. Have you guys been seeing the beef lately with ICT and, well, he's always been beefing with them. But listen, he has a point. So ICT put out a trade, right? ICT put out a trade, put out a tweet, whatever you want to call it, on Friday, saying he caught that massive move. He's like, I told my wife I'm going to short NASDAQ today into oblivion. Pretty much before that news event happened. He said, I'm going to short NASDAQ into oblivion. And then he posted a screenshot of his executions, how he took an order before the news or whatever, and then he took profits at the very bottom of the news event, right? And people started calling him out on his BS. And Patrick ended up tweeting, he said, listen, if you can post your broker statement proving that you actually took that trade, I will donate $500,000 to the charity of your choice. All you have to do is take a screenshot of your broker statement proving you actually took that trade. Guess what? Crickets. Crickets. This is what I don't get. Listen, you're a good teacher. I'm not going to say ICT, good teacher, right? But stop trying to pretend. Like, that's what pisses people off the most. If you're saying, yes, I trade a demo account, you know, it's not an actual account, it's a simulated account, that's one thing. But if you're trying to pretend that you're actually taking trades you're not and faking it, bro, come on. I don't get why people do that. Like, if you're a good teacher, just teach. But stop trying to pretend that you're a good trader. Right? There are coaches that are good at coaching that they're not necessarily good at playing the sport. Maybe they used to be good, but... But yeah, it's just kind of like... It's just funny why people do that. I don't know if it's for... So you wait for the break... for it to break support or resistance and then go long or short depending. Yeah, it has to break it and then it has to go back down into it, leaving behind a gap. How is this different to retest off breakout? Well, a retest off a breakout is typically people wait for a breakout and then they wait like here, right? People would wait for a breakout and then they see this gap and they try to take shorts retesting off this bearish gap to continue, right? They see the breakout, they wait for the retest for the continuation of the breakout. This isn't like a breakout strategy. I wait for it to break out, but I wait for it to push back into the range. Almost like it's sweeping it, but I'm not looking, it's not like a liquidity sweep. Like, that doesn't necessarily have to happen. Ruins the reputation for legit traders. Yeah, it's so stupid. Like, bruh, just say, like for example, me, like, I don't try to pretend that I'm in a live account. Like, people know I'm in a prop firm account. I trade these evaluations. I trade, you know, I have some funded accounts. I'm not sitting here pretending to be in a live account, like, executing. Bro, what is this? And it's like, where people caught him is where he had levels and he's like, well, don't you teach to take profits, like, you know, to take profits there? And then all of a sudden he doesn't take profits at those levels but take profits at the very bottom. Like come on, man. Don't act like you knew that was gonna happen. Nobody knew, like, unless some insider Nobody knew that that move was going to happen. That literally happened because of news. That was not a normal move. Like, I don't know. It sucks. Like, this industry gets, like, a bad rep. We have too much bad apples in this industry. He had to admit in court that he never made any money trading. Yeah, like, he's gotten exposed before. Like, this is not the first time he's gotten exposed. Iman, right? The Iman, the dude on YouTube that, like, exposes whatever people. Like, he made a video about him, and, like, he's gotten exposed before for, I don't know, it's just, like, it makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. Like, when somebody pretends that they're that good at trading, that they know the algorithm, and they know the secrets, and, like, you know what pisses me off the most, and what pisses a lot of other traders off? You're doing damage. You're doing damage to other traders. Because when other traders when new traders come into the market and they listen to ICT and they say, right, and if ICT says there's an algorithm out there, right? Just learn the algorithm. Learn the algorithm, right? And it makes traders think that they can learn the algorithm and they can always, like, make money, right? As long as you learn the algorithm, you know what's gonna happen, you can make money. And you can continue to make money, and you don't take losses because you figured it out somehow. That's not gonna happen, right? There's the sad reality, there's not one algorithm controlling the market. So it's like, they come with the expectation of when they do take a loss, they feel like their loss that hits their, like, oh, I'm a bad trader. I took a loss because I haven't figured it out yet. I took a loss because I haven't figured it out yet. And they spend years with that mindset of, oh, I just haven't figured it out yet. I'm still trying to figure this out. I keep taking losses. But the reality of every trader that's profitable knows you're going to take losses. Losses are inevitable. And the faster you realize that, the better off. I thought today was a bank holiday. Is this still worth trading today? I mean, it was worth trading, yeah. I mean, the way I looked at it was a bank holiday. The market's open today, right? The market doesn't close today. Only I think the bond market is closed today. The banks are closed, but, I mean, banks are closed, but is Citadel closed? Is Goldman Sachs closed? Like, Goldman Sachs, is that a bank? I don't know. I just figured we're going to have some good price action today because of the news on Friday. So I figured we can have some decent price action today. And I was willing to. I've seen it before where I'm like, it happened to me before, where it was a bank holiday, and then I was like, I'm not going to trade today, it's a bank holiday. So I didn't even come in that day. Later on in the day, I come in, and I'm like, oh crap, there was a trade set up. And so, after that, I'm like, I'm willing to even sit here and wait. If no trade setup happens, whatever, but if it happens, then I'll take it. Holy crap. Imagine if we get another massive sell-off if Trump ends up tweeting something again. It's just a repeat of Friday, I mean. Yeah, but see, look, banks are closed, but look how this thing is moving. We're getting really good price action. Like, this is no different. Even though the banks are closed, this is no different than a normal day's worth of price action when banks are open. Right? Nothing is different in price action than when banks are closed and open, at least for today. Now, are there times where the market closes early and we get, like, typically those kind of days I would see when the market closes early. When the market closes early, I don't trade that day typically. But when the market's open all day, then crazy candle. That candle just took out a bunch of about a short. I mean, it's kind of looking like it may want to go lower. This obviously this is just a 1 minute chart, but we made that high. We kind of swept this level, kind of formed this structure here, broke down. Now we're kind of retesting that structure, and we're kind of potentially continuing to go down. Now we just made a lower high. Right, that was that lower high right there. That could be the first sign of confirmation that this thing may want to go lower. All right, what time is it? All right, it's 10:43. Awesome. We may start to break here. Tapped into that imbalance, and now we're kind of going lower. See what's happening on the higher time frames. 60-minute. So this morning, right, we took out those lows, which happened to be that 5-minute range too. Took them out and then ripped back to the upside. So that's the... We do have some gaps to the downside. I mean, it's... You know, there are some gaps down here. 15-minute. Let's see it. 15-minute. Yeah, we had a bullish imbalance right there, but it closed below this bullish imbalance. Appreciate the gifts. Thank you. Made the call but never entered. It's tough. That's why you have to have like a, you know, it happens to me sometimes, you know, but that's why it's good to have a strategy where it's like very, you know, ABC. If this happens and this happens and that happens, I take a trade. So you're not like, you know, second guessing if I should take a trade or not. If your strategy happens, you take it. But, you know, at least you saw it. One question, what platform are you using and what stocks are you trading? I'm using Ninja Trader and I'm trading NASDAQ. NASDAQ. I want to trade, but I'm waiting for you. I already took a trade. I'm very like, I mean, I doubt that I'm gonna take another trade. Don't copy me. Figure out why I take certain trades, and then, you know, you can kind of implement it. But don't copy me, please. Please. Dang, bro. Need 1600 for the day? Why do you need 1600 for the day? That's a bad mindset to have. I need to make this money. Because it forces you to take trades. You should never be forced to take trades. If the setup is there, you take it. If it's not, you don't take anything. Like, I've gone almost a week without taking a trade before. There was a week where I only took like one trade the whole week because that week price action was just not giving me any trade setups. And so it's like nothing was there, I didn't take it. If it's there, I take the trade. Signal bot. Well, there better not be any signal bots. I'm trying to copy my trades and then send it out to your freaking Discord or whatever. So we rejected off this, right? Rejected off this level. And now this level was a support level, kind of trying to bounce off that level. Right now, what time frame? This is the 1 minute. I'm on the 1 minute time frame. Start look ugly once we break down that low. We break that low, we could go for these lows again. I mean, right now we're looking way more bearish than bullish. We are, let me see, are we still above view up? No. We just broke view up. Wow. Alert. Warning. 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 Hello. Ever plan on streaming on Kick too? I don't plan on it. I mean, I stream on YouTube too, but I need to build my YouTube channel. I need to start posting more content on YouTube. I've been slacking. Like, I go live there, but I'm not like, you know, I need to make more videos. And I'm gonna start, what I'm gonna start doing probably on my YouTube, I'm gonna start doing recap videos. So like the day, it would have to be the day after, I think. So like today, I'll probably post Friday's recap, and then tomorrow I'll post today's recap. Just because YouTube has a thing where you can't download the video until the day after. It's weird to edit it. If it breaks structure, I'm gonna wait for a liquidity sweep, then short. Then short or long, you mean? The thing about it is, an area like this, you gotta be careful with an area like this, is because we're at the bottom. Like, if you look on the 15-minute chart, right? Look, we're at the bottom of this range. So, the closer we get to the bottom, the more kind of dangerous it gets to take a short, right? You're shorting something that's already low. So if, like, I'm not saying you can't short. If it's your strategy, do what you gotta do, but right, you would want to short at the top and not short at the bottom and take profits at the bottom. I'm just saying be careful shorting at like a bottom of a range, because this thing, right, this thing could take out this level and then this thing can rip right back to the upside. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You're saying if it breaks the structure and then it comes back up, sweeps liquidity, and then you take a short. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You're waiting for confirmation. I thought you meant like it sweeps liquidity and you go short. I was like, yeah, that's a good, you know, that's a good plan to have. Today we go lower, 24, 160. Dang, that's far. 160, dude, no way. Do you think so? I mean, it's possible. That's a pretty crazy drop. I mean, we'd be at the lows pretty much. On the 15-minute lows. That'd be a big drop. But thanks, I was second guessing. You just need to backtest your strategy. If you're second guessing your strategy, I can't say, like, I'm saying it sounds good, but I don't know, like, you know, you gotta backtest your strategy. When you backtest it and then you practice it in real time, the more you become more confident in it. So that when you see something, you take it. Like, I'm at the point, here we go, give me a second, I'll be back. I think someone's here. Take profit, trader unable to establish connection. Is some rhythmic down? I mean, is trade of 8 down? Oh no, we're good. I'm back. Is it solid though? I mean, so typically, like something like that, the thing about it is you don't want to go short at the bottom of a range. You don't want to do that because the price is already sold off so much. And then, like, if you're looking, for example, if you're looking for, like, say, a liquidity sweep, break a structure, whatever, like, you want to look for that at the top, like, at a top of a range, not at the very bottom of the range. Because when you look for it, what's going to end up happening is, say price breaks, and then you try to go short down here, and price rips all the way back up to the upside because it was already at a support level. I'm not saying it could, like, it could, as long as you manage risk, right? I can't say a trade is good or bad. As long as you manage risk and you understand the risk you're taking, you know. Because some people take 10-point scalps, some people, you know, so it just depends. You got to back test. You got to back test. If you think you want to, like, a strategy, back test it. If you understand it and you could see it in back testing, then live test it, meaning try to trade it on like a sim or whatever, simulated account, test it out. And then when you can actually execute, then you go to like a prop firm account or like you want to have, your goal is to have a strategy where you know exactly where to do. Like you have A, B, and C, right? You wait for, say, like you said, wait for a liquidity sweep. You wait for a structure to form. Maybe the structure starts to break. Maybe there's a fair value gap, breaks the structure. There's a imbalance that's formed. You take it off the imbalance to go to the up. So you're waiting for confirmations to actually happen instead of guessing. And then you become more confident, right? You stop taking dumb trades because you know exactly what you're looking for. So all this noise and all this noise does not bother you at all because you're waiting for something very specific to happen, and this noise doesn't bother you. Versus somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, he felt like he missed out, right? The rip back to the upside felt like he missed out, and he's constantly chasing and not knowing, right? So I think he's fine personally as long as he's not looking for a 1 to 5 RR. Yeah, and that's what I said. Like, it depends on the trader. Like, me saying, like, you know, what I'm saying is the closer you get to a support level down here, the more dangerous it gets for a short. Not saying you can't take a short. You could have definitely took a short, but, you know, you got to understand where price is, right? You're at a support level, so you can't be expecting something, you know, crazy to happen. Could it happen? Yes, it could happen. It could flush that low and drop forever. And drop, not forever, but, you know, drop hard. But somebody that's maybe shorting at a low, you know, maybe he's taking a quick 10, 20-point scalp. Has his stop loss, like, say somebody wanted to short here. Boom. Maybe he had a stop loss above this high, shorted, and just took a quick 1-to-1. Like, that's doable. Maybe he figured, you know, we just broke that. Maybe we're going to go down to this low. I mean, there's so many different ways you can trade. That's why it's like, can't really tell someone a trade is a bad trade or a good trade. The only thing that determines if the trade you take is a bad trade or a good trade is if you followed your plan. If you followed your plan, if you have a plan and you followed it, it was still a good trade even though you took a loss. And that goes vice versa, right? If you had a trade, you broke your rules, and you made money, that was a bad trade. So the only thing that determines a good trade or a bad trade is if you have a set of rules and you follow them. That's it. This is gonna be my first. Oh, this is gonna be your first trade. Yeah, I mean, hopefully you're on a simulated account with like Apex. But you know, figure out have a set of rules. Lost 1K today so far. Not pulling out any kind. Oh gosh. I hope you're trolling. I hope you're trolling. I'm not. I'm on trade of it. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're gonna lose the money. If you're not, if you're still learning, trade, trust me, you're gonna lose that money. If you're in a live account, like every trader, especially when they begin trading, they lose money, right? That's what it's like. Let's face it, to trade, you have to lose money to learn. But the thing about it is, you don't want to lose money on a live account. You don't want to lose actual money. You want to lose fake money. So if you can trade a simulated account, and you can lose fake money, and then by the time you get done with a simulated account, once you're confident in your strategy, then you can go to funded accounts. Like, for the way I think that the progression in today's 2025, the progression of a trader, like the ideal progression of a trader should be, right? You start with a simulated account. You figure out a strategy you want to use. You backtest the strategy. You trade it. You trade the strategy on a sim account. So you meaning you're live trading the strategy. Every day you're trading that strategy on a sim account. Then, once you've proven to yourself you can be disciplined, manage risk, you can take the strategy, you know what you're looking for, then you go to a prop firm evaluation account. You pass the evaluation account. You've proven to yourself again that you can follow that strategy. You pass the evaluation. You get put in a funded account. You start taking payouts. Once you start taking payouts, you reinvest that money into more funded accounts. Now you have more funded accounts. Now you're getting bigger payouts. Now you could take $20, $30, $40, $50,000 payouts. Once you've stacked your payouts, by that point, you've proven to yourself that you can trade, you can manage risk, and you can be consistent. Then, after you've taken so much of payouts, you can trade prop firms, and then you can even have a live account. So then by the time you go to a live account, you know exactly what you're doing. You know how to manage risk, and you'd be confident in a live account because you've already proven to yourself you can trade. But trust me, I made that mistake. When I started trading, I funded a live account, and I was learning how to trade in a live account. Trust me, I lost thousands of dollars doing that. So I just don't want you to lose money. Like when you're still learning and you're not confident, never trade a live account because you're going to lose that money. I mean, let's face it, you're trading against some of the smartest people in the world. Mathematicians that code these algorithms. So it's like they're out to get your money. People don't realize like that's the hard reality of the market. When you lose money in a live market, somebody took your money. So it's like you got to be confident in this market. You got to know exactly what you're looking for and be confident. And confident in yourself and your psychology, risk management. But that's a progression that every trader has to get to be able to eventually get to a live account. Can't lose it if I just wait for 100 confirmations. Yeah, if you wait for 100 confirmations, you may trade like once a year, one trade a year. And if you're fine with, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, just be aware that you're like there's a 90-something% chance you're gonna lose all that money. So I just don't see a reason of just giving away money to the market when you could trade a sim account. You know what a lot of people don't know? A lot of people don't know, but prop firms, hedge funds, Citadel, Goldman Sachs, they sim trade. People don't realize that these hedge funds do simulated trading too. What they do is, right, they have their algorithms. These hedge funds have their algorithms for the week, right? And these algorithms are constantly learning. New data is coming in, new news events. They're learning, constantly learning. During the weekend, these algorithms are like in a learning phase where they're doing their advancing their strategy during the weekend, and then they test their strategy on a simulated account. So you have Citadel trading a simulated account. Obviously, it's not the same as we trade a simulated. Their simulated accounts are more advanced, but like they still trade before they deploy a bot or a coded algorithm. Before they deploy that, they will test it in a simulator to make sure it runs good and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Then they will put it in the live market. So if a hedge fund trades simulated accounts, like what makes us better than a hedge fund? We should do the same thing, right? Our progression should be find a strategy, sim trade it, be confident, understand it, and then you can move on to different, I'm trying to win money to buy a funded. Why? Apex funded account right now is like $33. Apex, $33 for an evaluation account. If you pass that evaluation, if you lose it, you lost $33. So Apex evaluations are $33. Take profit is like $100, no activation fee for take profit. I mean, $33 isn't like, it's not a lot of money. And if if you're in a situation where $33, like you can't afford to spend $33, you shouldn't. And I assume that you can spend, if you funded a live account, I assumed you can afford to spend $33. You probably put way more money in that live account. But you can't lie, dude, to make some good calls. I mean, you can make good calls, but it don't mean it's not the calls you make in one day. It's the calls you make over a span of a month. When I started trading, I did the stupid idea of going into a live account. I went on a 2-week win streak. That's the dangerous part about the market. The market, 2-week win streak of not knowing what I was doing. Every single day I made money for 2 weeks not knowing what I was doing. So, trust me, I felt like I had cracked the code. And guess what? 1 day is all it took for me to give everything up and blow my account. It's funny looking back at it now, but I was so pissed. Think it's gonna rip soon? I mean, it could. It's starting to confirm. I mean, it's yeah, it's futures. And you can kind of see when price is balanced this way, when price is going sideways like this, you're literally having bots fighting against each other who's gonna make the first move. So when you have bots fighting against each other, it's like a tug of war where bots are fighting and they're waiting for somebody to make the first move. And then, but you don't know if that bot is faking you out. What if that bot buys 20,000 or the bot buys 10,000? Price spikes up and then they short 20,000 as like a fake out. Right? So it's like, it's honestly pretty crazy to see how like when you see this consolidation happen, you're seeing bots fighting against each other in real time. Now, right, we're getting a breakout now. And once we get this breakout, now the bots that were short, now they're maybe flipping their positions. Maybe they took a loss, they're flipping their positions, and you have everyone jumping on the wave and price starts to kind of you have all this buying pressure start to come in. That's why I said earlier, remember I said be careful shorting down here because we're at a level where this thing can rip at any moment. It's exactly what's happening right now. Crazy part of trading, more times you spend on the chart, more money you're gonna lose. Exactly. That's why some people, I'm very big on like, if I can take a trade, right? If I can come into the market, be patient, a trade setup comes, I make my money. The next trade, I'm gonna be very like careful about what I take next. Is it possible I take another trade? It's possible, but the thing about the market is the more money you put into it does not mean the more money you make. Typically, the less you trade, the more you make because the more selective you are in your trade. Typically, the traders that make the most money are the most selective traders. Some of them don't even trade every single day. Some of them trade once a month, once a week. So, because they're so profitable because they're so selective with their trades. They specifically follow their strategy and that's it. The Nui gap? Talking about the gap down there from I mean, we've been going kind of sideways right now. I mean, not sideways. I mean, we're getting really good moves, but we're kind of in a range, like that 15-minute range. I mean, it's possible. We're ripping right now, though. Yeah, I trade MNQs. I don't trade NQs. I trade MNQs because I need to be able to size according to what my stop loss is. That's why, like, sometimes I'll take 3 micro contracts. I'm always pretty much risking $400 per trade for my accounts. So sometimes in order for me to risk $400, I have to take 3 micros. Sometimes, according to price action, for me to risk $400, I have to take 7 micros. It just depends on what price is doing at the time. That's why I like MNQs, because I can scale as much as I want. Versus NQs, it's way too aggressive for me. My stop would have to, my like stop loss, I wouldn't be able to risk $400 trading NQs. If I was, risking thousands of dollars, I would go to NQs. Take any more trades? No, I took 1 trade that morning and I'm pretty much done. I'm going to be hopping off in a couple of minutes. I'm going to be hopping off. I got some stuff I got to do, and we're at 11 o'clock, almost 11:30, so we're pretty much going to go. We could be going sideways from here on out, so good day. So, like, very good price action day. So, wow, I didn't get a freaking verification thing today. Maybe I gotta move around more. Like, once every 10 minutes, I gotta do some hand motions for it not to think that I think it's when I'm sit still and I don't move around, it thinks that there's no activity. But I got Microsoft Parallels for Mac to try to stream on my Mac TikTok. Bruh, straight up garbage. The TikTok on the Parallels, the TikTok Studio Live on the Parallels on a Mac is worse than what I have now. Sucks, because I had paid for a yearly subscription and it's just straight garbage. I pretty much just gave away money to Microsoft. I'm still going to try to figure it out, see if I can fix it, but it's horrible. It's so bad. Shit. Pretty low liquidity. We're getting some decent movement. I do stream on YouTube, but I don't have much I live stream on YouTube, but I need to make more videos. I haven't been making to try to build up my YouTube. I'm gonna start doing it. I'm gonna start posting. I need to start posting recap videos. So like every day when I take a trade, whether it's a losing or winning trade, post recap videos of why I took the trade, what happened, what I was looking at, kind of thing. So post like a recap video, and then I'll post a video, a snippet of me actually taking the trade live. So you ate what? You Microsoft OS shaky. I wouldn't mess with them. What do you mean? What do you mean by shaky? The liquidity I've been waiting for. Oh, the high? Oh, you're talking about the highs? That's what I do, but the problem is my main desktop that's actually good is Mac. And for TikTok Studio, you can't use Mac. So that's why I got Parallels to try to see if I can use my Mac computer, but it's straight garbage. So if I had a Windows computer, it'd be no problem. But since I have Mac, it becomes a kind of a problem. Like the stream would be so much better if I had a Windows. But I think TikTok is gonna eventually release TikTok Studio for Mac, and so that's gonna be a great day. I mean, that's gonna be. I trade futures. We are ripping. So, all right. I'm gonna call it here. I've been live for almost 2 hours. So we're pretty much, it's almost 11:30. So we're pretty much gonna go sideways, I feel like. So, yeah, it's been pretty. It's been a pretty good day, so we'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. So if you want to stop by, I'll be here. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We're gonna hopefully get some good price action. Today was good, so hopefully it sticks around for tomorrow. If this kind of price action lasts all week, I'll be very happy. This is gonna be amazing. So that being said, peace out. Don't overtrade. Be careful. And enjoy your Monday. See you tomorrow. Peace out.